It's time to talk about converting type to outlines. It's actually very easy. It's one click and you're done. But understand what happens when you do this. You're about to take a font, and with all the control that that entails, spell check, changing the words, whatever you want to do, it's a font, and you're converting it into an Adobe Illustrator object. Now, there's another level of control you gain when you do that, especially over the object's physical appearance, but you're losing the control of a font. So there's two things up front that are obvious, but you need to do before you convert. Number one, make sure it's spelled correctly, because you won't be able to change that, and you more or less like the font. Now, if you don't, it's too late. That boat has gone down the river and sailed away, unless you want to press undo and start all over again. So be careful before you do it. There's also reasons why we do this. One of the major reasons is to gain access over the physical aspects of the font so we can change them. But I find in Adobe Illustrator CS5, we're gaining so much power over fonts that my need to convert type to outlines is growing less and less. Let me explain that. Pick up the words "Wow Mom." And I chose these words for a reason. If you come to the corner and spin it on its head, it spells the same thing. Scary. Go up to the word effect. Choose just about anything you want. Like we go into, distort and transform and do a roughen. As you can see, it's going to work. But understand, it's still a font. We have not converted it. I like this because I gain control in both areas. Not only can I change the physical aspects of the font in ways I never could have a couple of versions ago without the conversion, but I still have the ability to manipulate the font as a font. So I have the best of both worlds. But there are still times when I need to do a conversion. So let's get out of here. Let me show you a group of tools over here I have a lot of fun with. And they're right here, a whole bunch of them. You will notice that if I pick up one of these tools, like here's a pucker and here's a bloat and a twirl and a wrinkle and a crystallize, all kinds of fun tools. If I come over here and pick up, say, the warp tool and try to change the font, it won't let me. So there are still things that we can't do unless we make the conversion. However, and I have down here as examples, these obviously are Adobe Illustrator objects, and all of these tools will work on them. Now, you first have to have it selected to make that work. If you come over, you select a shape, they'll work on it. You can have some fun with these tools, actually, in distorting shapes in very creative ways. But I want to use them on the font. Very easy. Remember this, though. The font must be selected with the selection tool, not the type tool. So we come over here to our selection tool, and we pick it up. We go to the word type. We're one click away. You've probably done this before. Create outlines. The font is now Adobe Illustrator Objects. What that means, though, is I can use these tools. Check this one out. It's called Wrinkle. I like this one on fonts. Actually, it'll work on anything. I'm just dragging and pulling down very carefully straight down. Create the effect of, I suppose, melting text. So if you are a Halloween lover, you might want to use that on your next piece of text for Halloween. Why else would I do this? Well, there are actually one or two other reasons. For example, if you've got a very specific font and you're using it in something that you're sending to your press operator, and the press operator does not have that font, it's not going to work. But if you then set it up and convert it to outline, he's not getting a font, he's getting Adobe Illustrator Objects, therefore it will work. Something to watch out for, though, you shouldn't convert type to outlines if it's very small text, like body text. Because when you convert to outlines, you're losing what are called hinting features on the font, and it actually will make the font harder to read. So if you are doing this for the purpose of giving your press operator something that they don't have, make sure it's big font, like headline fonts, things like that. Don't ever do this to body text. It really doesn't work. Other than that, use your imagination, play around, converting type to outlines.